All right, guys, on today's episode, I'm going to be going over the supplements that actually work and aren't bullshit and are worth your money, and the ones that definitely aren't. So I go over that. It's top 5 performance supplements, touch on some sleep supplements as well. So hope you guys enjoy the episode. Let's get into it. We have Pride Foods at this point. If you're a consistent uh, watcher, viewer, you should know what I'm about to say. It's cream of rice, just like the orange box, with way less iron, so it's healthier. The way it digests is super consistent. I have this every single day before I go to the gym. It digests perfectly. It's low in calories. It has zero fat. At least the one I'm looking at has zero fat. I think all of them have zero fat. They also have almond butter. This is amazing. They have chocolate, honey, and brown sugar and cinnamon. And they have a lot of variety in the cream of rice too. They have blueberry, chocolate, coconut, a bunch. They also have unflavored. They also have taco flavor, which is good. You could throw it in your beef. It's amazing. So check them out. Use code Anabolic10 to save money and support the channel, and let us know what you think. I am pretty tired. I'm pretty fatigued and exhausted. I am in prep. As of right now, I'm about 8-ish weeks out. Keeps moving back because I haven't for sure dialed in a show yet. It's all around in the same time frame, but I just don't know what date yet. So if I sound like a zombie, if I look like a zombie, I apologize. I also got some hate comments in the last episode with people. Well, actually, it was just one guy who kept spamming the comment section talking about, I don't know what I'm talking about, and that who is this guy thinking his ego is this big to be able to give advice? If you guys watch the first episode, usually I don't get pissed off about comments. It's usually something to do with gear, something to do with my age, something like that. Heart attack, stroke, something along those lines. Whether it's TikTok, even though I don't have a following, it's still TikTok, YouTube, Instagram DMs. But this one pissed me off because this guy commented, which he was trying to piss me off, so he did his job, so I applaud you. But it pissed me off because he left a comment that said, who is this guy to think his ego is so big that people care about what he has to say? And what I said to that in my head, because I didn't respond to him, is if you go back and listen to the first episode, you'll understand. A lot of you that listen already understand. So you guys understand how I am at this point. The ones that do listen and do pay attention and care, you guys understand how I work for the most part. But that's the complete opposite. I was almost not wanting to I never wanted to start a podcast until Mark basically put me on. Essentially, he was like, let's do this. I'll help you out. We can do a couple episodes together. We can get guests on. And it's more of a learning experience. So I'm learning as I'm going, and I'm growing the longer we do this. So that's the complete opposite. And in the first episode, I made it very clear that I am not speaking from, like, I am not claiming to be some dude that knows everything. I don't claim to be shit, anything at all. Just, I have an opportunity to be around Mark, and I don't see a lot of people that have had that opportunity, maybe a couple like Nsima, Andrew, and they've taken full advantage of it. So I'm doing the same thing. So if somebody like Mark came to you and was like, let's start a podcast, you're not going to say no. You're going to, even if you're uncomfortable and you have those thoughts of, why would people want to listen to me? You're still going to take the opportunity, because if you don't, you're probably going to regret it. And this has opened up a lot of doors for me. So just want to clear that up. I don't claim to be anyone. I don't have as much um, I don't have as much experience as probably half of you listening, but Mark does, and I've got to learn from him and kind of be mentored by him. So I'm just relaying that information to you guys. Whatever I learned from a guest, from my own experience, because I'm also doing this shit myself too. I'm cutting, I'm bulking, I'm using supplements, I'm, training, I'm dieting, I'm doing everything myself as well. So the things that I learn from personal experience, I talk about, and I'm transparent with the people who watch the episodes. I've never once claimed to know anything or to be this smart guy. Definitely not a science guy. So I just want to clear that up and remind people that I'm not speaking to you as if I'm better than you or I'm smarter than you. I'm just a dude who loves to lift, loves to get jacked, change my body, um, and just give out information that I learn. So that's how you should be. When you click on these episodes, that's just, remind yourself of that. I'm not trying to be I'm not a Mike Israetel. I'm not a Mark Bell. They have a ton of credibility, you know. I don't have much credibility aside from my own experience, like I said, and being able to be in a really, I guess, rare position that not a lot of people have been, which is be around all these cool guests all the time and be at Super Training Gym for the last 3 years since I was 19. So that's what I'm giving out to you guys just to help, not to uh, boost my ego or anything like that. So, getting that out of the way. So, whoever left that comment, I don't remember your name, but that was a good one. Um, Moving on to supplements. So, supplements, I'm basically going to go over. I know a lot of you guys probably think I'm just going to go straight to gear, which I don't know why I don't use a ton of it. But I can touch on stuff that's not gear. I can touch on natural supplements that I used before gear that work, that I still use now, being on gear, that I think are just staples in anybody's routine, plan, whatever. A lot of them you'll already know about, but some of them you might not. I don't know. Like a lot of the sleep supplements I've tried might help you guys who struggle with sleep. Just little tips and tricks and stuff to help. I think they go a long way, to be honest. And none of them are crazy expensive. I'm not going to go tell you to, you know, even though we're sponsored by them, go through Merrick and go get a bunch of growth hormone to make you sleep better. Like I'm not doing that. So I'm going to just speak on what has helped me, and hopefully you guys can try it. They're all safe, aside from maybe like pre-workout caffeine. If you abuse it, it can be not so safe, but for the most part, everything on here is safe. I would like to think, aside from, I wouldn't even say it's dangerous, but the last supplement I'll touch on, um, I'll just explain. So just bear with me. So supplements, first of all, there's been a couple episodes me and Mark have talked about which supplements we like, but I haven't really done just a solo episode on this, so that's what we're doing. And shit, probably from freshman year of high school, so however long that was ago, that was like 6 years ago, maybe 5. I've been trying a ton of different supplements. Not gear, not steroids, but just over-the-counter GNC, Vitamin Shop, Total Nutrition. For those of you in NorCal, you'll know what I'm talking about. Total Nutrition is the shit. It has all the best companies, in my opinion. So I'll start with, I guess I'll just go over kind of what I found to be useless and kind of bullshit, and what I found myself spending a lot of money on for no reason. And then over the years, kind of narrowing down, okay, this is what works. This is what I know is always going to work for my body, for most people's body, to fuel training, to recover, to get bigger, all the good stuff. So I spent a lot of money on testosterone boosters, and I'm going to be honest. Um, There's good and bad, because I actually am using a testosterone booster right now, but it's not for the same reason that I was trying to use it back then, if that makes sense. So in the beginning, I thought test boosters were like, I saw a kid that was like a senior or junior, and he had facial hair, and I was obsessed with I was also obsessed with looks, which you can see my patchy ass facial hair right now. I haven't got a haircut, so I'm sorry, but also just looking like a man, I would, that was cool to me. I wanted to chase that. I wanted to have that because I always had a little baby face. And I didn't have facial hair. I was skinny. So I would see somebody with a beard that was at my school. I'd be like, and I'd hear through the grapevine, oh, he's taking this testosterone booster, which it's not hormonal. It's just a bunch of natural stuff like vitamin D, boron, zinc put into one product, and then you take it, and then who knows if your test actually increases, but whatever. So I went through all of that little phase where I thought that was going to do a bunch of stuff. It did absolutely nothing. I went through the phase of, which is very common. What type of protein powder do you take, bro? So that was like the thing in high school. That was like, you take serious mass, you take this protein, that protein. That was like the thing. Like now it's like, what gear do you, like, what's your cycle? Back then it was like, what type of protein do you use? So yeah, I went through the phase of mass gainers, which in my opinion, I just watched a video actually of Jared Feather who uses it because it has like 75 grams of carbs. And if you're bulking, I guess it's a good idea. But for me personally, I just think it's bullshit. I just stick to, food and then whey protein, like whey isolate, if I can't get any more food in. So yeah, the whole serious mass from Optimum Nutrition and all of that, all the crazy mass gainers, all it did was make my stomach really messed up. It backed up my digestion and just wrecked me all day. So I wasn't even able to get, yeah, I could get like a 2,000 calorie shake in, but I couldn't eat the rest of the day. And it messed my stomach up. And it was terrible. And I was bloated in the gym all the time. I had a stomach ache. And I would have just been better off eating like way more whole foods. So that was a phase that that took a lot of my money because I would just buy tubs of that and just throw it into everything. And I thought shakes were the way to go. Then I started watching Rich Piana and Stan Efferding saying, what's it? What does he say? Shakes are for fakes. Eat steaks. Yep, that was a bar. Shout out to Stan Efferding. He's a great man. But yeah, once I caught on that was just fucking my stomach up and it was really a waste of money, I just transitioned over to whey protein once I started deep diving into nutrition and what works and what bodybuilders are actually doing. They're not just drinking 3 serious mass shakes a day and getting huge. They're putting work in the kitchen, eating 5-6 times a day. Back then I was only eating 4, but still, that was much more beneficial than the shake little phase. So that, those 2 phases, just, you can skip those. They're not really going to do much for you. in my opinion. And there was probably one more, which was pre-workout. Now, pre-workout's always going to be popular because it gives you like a high. You know, you dry scoop or you put it in water and you are cracked out for like 2 hours. But I will tell you, I went through that phase, and not only do you waste a ton of money, but you absolutely wreck. I think it's called your adrenal glands. I could be wrong. Again, I don't know every single little detail to all this, but I can tell you what it feels like. And it feels like you basically just ruin your whatever receptor is responsible for uptaking or you like using stims. I wrecked it because I would just go buy the most expensive, crazy high stim pre workout, Jack 3D, Super Bio Freak from Global Labs. The people in SAC that go to like the gyms out here will know exactly what pre workout that is. And it feels like Adderall. It feels insane. But spent a bunch of money on that, and really, I got some good workouts for. I got some good workouts from it. I definitely messed up and took way too much and had to go to the hospital as well. So with those, I just would, if you can, just avoid it because in the long run, you want to be the guy that can drink just a cup of coffee and go to the gym, or just take a non-stim pre and have a great workout, because ultimately super high stim is great for like strength training and powerlifting, which I was doing at the time a little bit. But if you're training to be a bodybuilder, hypertrophy, unless you're in prep, I don't see a reason. You want something that opens your blood vessels up and gives you a pump, bunch of blood flow. That's what you really want. You don't want something that's like 500 milligrams of caffeine with all this other shit in it that's just going to give you the cold sweats, and you're going to have the shakes, and then your workout's going to be shit. So, and then you just wasted whatever, 75, $60 on something you're never going to use, and it probably affects the heart, I'm assuming, down the road, and you're just going to be resistant to caffeine. So a cup of coffee after you go take a pre-workout like that is going to do, it's not going to do shit for you. And that's a bad spot to be in, because then you have to feel like you take more. That's where I'm at. So I would just avoid that. Pre-workout is fun. Maybe just take it like 2 days a week. Take it on your heaviest days, like your back days and your leg days. That would be my advice, coming from somebody who is a stim head and loves stims and has abused stims. And now I'm facing all the consequences of they're not doing shit for me. Even if I take a triple, quadruple dose, it doesn't really do much, and it wears off in like an hour and makes me more tired. So I would avoid that. But to the supplements that work, so I went through a bunch of phases. I'm sure you guys, if you're my age or older, have been through a bunch of phases where you thought your favorite bodybuilder selling this product, that was the way to go. Everybody falls for that at some point. But once you get past that, you have, you try different things, you figure out what works, you do research. You should research everything. And then you just, like I said, narrow it down to this is what works. So I'll go over what I know works, what I would recommend to somebody if they came up to me and asked me. And that would be, did you hear that? And that would be the first one. I would say this is not in the order. I think all these are equally as important, maybe besides one, which is going to be the whey protein. But the first one would be intra-workout carbs. I've talked about this a ton in past videos, but intra-workout carbs have helped me immensely. Just increase training performance. I'm not as fatigued throughout the workout. And if you are in a surplus, you can really sneak in a lot more carbs while you're training. So, for people that struggle to eat, you could add a Gatorade and a half into a shaker cup, or if you have the powdered Gatorade from Walmart, you got sugar and you got carbs, and you can sip on that throughout the whole entire training session, and you know, it's only going to help put weight on and fuel your training. So that's something that's been super beneficial, and I'm not going to go super into this. I'm going to try to keep it as simple as I can. You have your pre-workout meal, great. Not even that, just ignore that actually. In the gym, you're going to break down glycogen. Your muscles need glycogen to get a good pump, to be full, to have a decent workout. So you're going to train and you're depleting glycogen. You do your first exercise, and from that point on, you're going to deplete glycogen. That's why you get a really good pump in the beginning and then it falls off. Like I've talked to a bunch of, that happened to me, and I was confused before I knew what intra-workout carbs were, and just basic hydration. I would get an amazing pump for like the first 20 minutes, and then I would just look completely shriveled up and small the rest of the workout, and it pissed me off. And then I started using intra-workout carbs. I kind of found this out from one of my first coaches and Justin Harris, but I was also researching like what it does, like what is an intra-workout carb? Can I just drink anything? Can I drink an energy drink like a Monster with full carbs and sugar, which I guess you could, but really just what is its purpose? So it's just replenishing glycogen. That's really all it's doing. So you're burning glycogen, you're sipping on carbs, that's replenishing glycogen, which means you're going to stay full throughout the workout. You're going to have a better workout. You're going to have, I noticed from exercise 1 to my last exercise, I was able to keep a lot of fullness that I wouldn't have if I didn't have those and just drank water. So electrolytes is good to throw in there too if you're on, like right now I'm not using an intra-workout, not carbs, because I am in a prep. I just prefer to cut them. I'm sure they would get cut eventually anyways, so I just didn't care to go buy them. So I use the hydration pack, which is right here. This also helps stay pretty full. It's not going to be the same as carbs, but it's pretty close as far as the fullness and like vascularity and stuff like that. So endurance. So this is a good product too, but carbs, replenish glycogen. That's basically it. Give it a try. That's what I found out worked best for me, especially if you're strength training. I think that's a must. If you're training for over an hour, you should definitely have intra-workout carbs, because you're gonna plateau eventually at some point through the workout, and you're gonna feel like shit, or you're just not gonna feel as energetic and strong. So definitely try intra-workout carbs. All right, so the next one's going to be EAAs, essential amino acids. Pretty similar. You're just replenishing what you're breaking down. You're breaking down muscle in the gym. You need amino acids to build back up, to recover, to stimulate protein synthesis, to do all the good stuff. So that's pretty much all there is to it. And you have to get essential aminos from food, or like a whey protein shake, or essential aminos, which is easy to digest. It's easy to throw in an intra-workout shake. It's kind of the same thing. You're going to feel full. I feel fuller. I feel like I get a better workout. You might not notice a crazy difference, but you're still supplementing something that you're breaking down while you're training, and you're starting the recovery process while you're training rather than post-workout, which over time I think you'll see some benefits from that, rather than just, it's the same thing as, okay, I'm going to drink a shake, a protein shake post-workout. You're replenishing amino acids. You're just drinking whey protein to start your recovery for your muscles quicker. or not quicker, but post-workout when you're done training, breaking the muscle down. So you're just starting that process earlier. I feel similar, not as full as the carbs, but I do feel a little bit more energy, fullness, just better workouts. I've tried it standalone without carbs, with carbs. I think it works best with carbs. So that's essential amino acids. The third one is going to be a hydration product. Now, this is a slight plug within you. If you use code Kenny10, I'm not trying to be a sellout here, but this is good. Liquid IV is good, but it has a little bit of sugar. Element is good, but I think these flavors are better. These also have aminos in them, so it's not a crazy amount like you would get with a standalone amino product, but there's still aminos in there, and I haven't seen another product that really has that. So that's like a little ready to drink packet. So this helps with muscle contractions. This helps with obviously hydration. That's what it's called. But for me, it really just helps fullness. This, no matter what, if you drink this either pre-workout, really pre or intra-workout, the fullness in the muscle and just your overall, like your energy is just going to be better. You're going to be able to give more in the gym, do more, and not be as fatigued, which the carbs kind of do the same thing. But I would say if I had to pick one, like if I have my diet and my coach said you can only pick one to have intra-workout, which that would never happen because this is like 0 calories and there's really no reason to not drink this. But I would still pick this over the carbs and over the aminos just because for me it works best. I feel the best. I get vascular. I get a pump. You know, people are like, fucking dump pink salt into your pre-workout drink, which, first of all, if you look at the label, almost every pre-workout has pink salt and coconut water in it anyways. So you're just adding something that's unnecessary. So you're just doubling up for no reason. And they think it's this magical thing that I'm going to take specifically pink salt and get a crazy pump when you're just hydrating. You're just getting sodium in along with some water, and then your muscles get full because they're hydrated. So it's not that confusing. So I'd rather just use one of these, put it in a shaker, drink it throughout the workout, feel good, last longer, whatever, all the good stuff. So yeah, that would be my third one. The fourth one, I don't know where I'm going to land with how many I'm going to get to, but this is just off the top of my head what I know works and what I would spend my money on. So it would have to be creatine. That is like, I think, the most studied supplement out there, I want to say. There's tons of studies on creatine. For me, I'm going to describe it similar to this. It keeps me full. Over time, it makes me stronger. It gives you the intramuscular water. A lot of people think it makes you bloated. Like, I've heard girls be like, I don't want to take creatine because it makes me bloated. Which, if your diet is in check and you're not eating like an asshole, creatine is not, even then, it's not going to be the creatine that makes you bloated. It's going to be all the shitty food you're eating. So, solid diet, decent diet, creatine is going to do its job. It's going to make you fuller. It's going to make you look bigger. I remember in high school, a kid would be like, oh, I'm going to start creatine, and he would look swole. He would get big. But it wasn't like a bloated look, and they weren't even eating that clean. But I'm getting all over the place here. That's not the point. The point is creatine works. Same thing, muscle contractions, muscle fullness, strength throughout the workout. But yeah, I would say the main thing I notice is fullness. Fullness in the muscle. I don't get bloated. The people that try to do the loading phase, I don't think that's even a thing. Just like I don't think that's a thing with gear. I don't think you need to kickstart your cycles. Like why would you? They're just getting you to waste money. Like why would you take 2-3 scoops for just a week or two? You're just gonna go through half the bottle when all you need is 5 grams a day. That's what that's. Look it up. There's research on it. 5 grams a day of creatine. I don't even take creatine right now just because I haven't gone and bought it. So it's not absolutely necessary. I think being hydrated is more necessary for good performance, but creatine is super solid, especially for somebody who is looking for something that they maybe a supplement they want to feel and notice. Like you'll definitely feel a strength increase if you're natural. It's going to be easier to be like, oh, the creatine is making me stronger, not the fucking D-ball. So that's something. I'm not everybody should use it, but I'm just saying if you're natural, it'll probably be easier to pinpoint that creatine is doing this for me, not just the gear you're taking. So, yeah, I would say EAAs, carb powder, hydration, creatine, and I would say the last one would probably be, I'll get into some sleep supplements, but the last one would probably just be whey protein. I don't use a ton of whey protein. I use it when I'm in a pinch and when my appetite is completely wrecked, like in the off season. Whey protein goes a long way for me. I'm sure it does for a lot of people too. For the people that don't have a crazy appetite, throwing a scoop of protein in water or whatever, fat-free milk, or even Greek yogurt, it's so easy to get down. Throw it in a smoothie or something. It's a lot easier, deeper into a bulk to get protein down than it is, 8 ounces of chicken 6 times a day. So that's, the benefits I get. I don't see any extra benefit. I don't think it's better. It's definitely not better, in my opinion, than whole food. But it's not like I take whey protein and get some crazy, effect from it. It's just, I'm just getting my protein in a powdered form. And it might not be as nutrient dense, but the steak shake, if you want to go that route, it has all the nutrients in it. If you want to just do a regular whey isolate, which is what I do, that's completely fine. I've done a ton of shakes in a day and in the off season, even though I do usually prefer whole foods and that's what I believe in. You gotta do what you gotta do. Sometimes late in an off season, I might do 3 shakes a day and just do that. So that's where I think it helps a lot of people, is for the people that don't have an appetite and struggle getting their protein intake in for the day. So that would be the top 5 performance supplements for me personally. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If there's anything else I'm forgetting, I'm trying to think right now. Pre-workout, I wouldn't even, I love pre-workout, don't get me wrong, but the things I listed are what I feel work the most and what's worth the money. Going into some other ones, one that maybe people might not know about is CBN. It's like a branch off. I don't know a crazy amount about this. I know it's like a cannabinoid. Don't quote me on that. It's like a branch off from THC. It's not psychoactive. I think if you take enough of it, it can be. But, you can get gummies from, I don't know, a smoke shop if you're old enough, or online, or just any other shop. You can even supplement shops, I think you can find CBN. It just helps sleep. It's the part of the THC molecule, I think, I could be wrong, but it's a part of the THC molecule or thing that aids in sleep. So you're just taking the part that makes you sleep good and pulling it out, and then you're supplementing with just that, not the THC, which is going to get you blitzed out of your mind. So yeah, that's something I really enjoy. Other than that, that's pretty much it. That covers sleep for me. Oh, I mentioned I take a test booster right now. I take Gorilla Mind Sigma. It's just an overall good health product for men. I'm not taking it clearly to boost my testosterone. I'm taking exogenous testosterone, but it just makes you feel good. It has all the stuff you would go buy standalone. I didn't cover like vitamin D, all that stuff. That should be, you should always be supplementing that, especially if you get blood work done and you're deficient in something. Always base it off of that. But I'm going based off performance and like sleep and stuff. I'm not going deep into fish oil, vitamin D, K2, all the good stuff. You should always be taking that. I actually need to re-up on all of those, so that reminds me. But yeah, it's basically vitamin D, a good dose, quality dose, boron, ashwagandha, which has a calming effect too, which promotes in healthy testosterone levels, zinc, magnesium, tonga ali, which helps testosterone, and I think a couple other, but it's super basic product. It's just basically everything you'd go get to feel better and be healthy standalone. They just put it into one product. So it's $50. It's probably cheaper than going and getting all of them individually. So I just use it for health purposes and to feel good. So yeah, I would check it out. I think it's worth it if you want to just overall feel better. All right, guys, that is enough anabolic activities for today. Again, that's not every single supplement. We didn't really cover health supplements, more so performance. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. Maybe I could do the next podcast with Mark. I know he is very specific on what supplements he likes and what he thinks is bullshit. Health supplements and performance. So if you're interested, comment down below. Like the video. We really appreciate and love all you guys that support. Leave a review on the audio. That helps a ton, and we really appreciate that as well. So if you have any ideas for the next topic, please let us know. Again, listen to the beginning of this. It's a reminder that I'm not trying to big league anybody. I'm just relaying information. So thank you guys.